If you live in a place where dead branches fall off of trees and you have access to a small saw, you can make miniature trees for your gaming tabletop terrain. And I, Torrin Atkinson, am going to show you how. So I've just been wandering around my neighborhood and looking for deadfall, and I found a few. And what you're looking for is branches. You probably don't want ones with all this moss on it because that's just going to flake off on your table. But yeah, you're looking for anything with a joint, like this part here where it branches out. That's the best. Here's a really good example right here. So if you see this while you're walking around and you don't have your saw, then you can just, break it off. I usually take about a hand's width and then just put my foot down there and just break it off into a manageable sized chunk. And once I do that with all the various bits, then I can just throw that in my bag and take it home for when I do have a saw. But if you do have your saw, you can get started straight away. So this is the one I'm going to work with. You probably want about, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 inches per total. We're going to cut it here, we're going to cut it here, and we're going to cut it here. And I'll show you what that looks like after I'm done. Here is a selection of some of the branches that I have sawed out in the wild. One thing that works great is if you want to saw a really short one, then you don't even really have to attach anything to the bottom of it to make it stand up. And then you basically have a stump. Apparently pumpkin stems work really good for this, but it's not pumpkin season, so maybe that's a later video. And then you can just put your little dude right on top of it. He can hide behind it for some cover. So yeah, lots of great stuff there. So this is the super easy one. And if you want to use your imagination, then just do them all like this and pretend they're all tall trees. Here's another cool one that just stands up on its own, and you can see it's got a lot of character in it. And I'm probably not going to do anything else with that one at all. So you might need a hot glue gun if you don't have one. This is very helpful. I don't think you need, you can do it with other glues. What I found that's the best is to use for the base is washers. Here are 2 washers I found in 2 separate alleys while I was just walking around town. These are going to be great. I'll show you how this is like what we're the end product, more or less. And you can see the glue comes right through the bottom, so it's going to stick pretty well to your base, and that gives it a lot of weight. It's not going to, it's going to tip over when somebody smacks it, but it's not going to fall over on its own, and that's what we want. And then you can paint the base. I used the glue gun to make a little roots, and they're not super easy to color, but you can work that out. And then some tufts from the hobby store to give it a little character. If you don't have washers and you happen to have, where are they? I got a thing full of these things. These, bases for your miniatures that I have left over. And that's what I did with this. Again, the slot works great to capture the glue and help it bond. And yeah, Bob's your uncle. So let's do one, shall we? Let's do, I don't know, this one seems all right. It's got some moss on it. So in addition to the 2, this is a little bit, it'd be great if I had a wider one. And guess what? This is a bag of washers I traded for my friend for some acrylic paint that I got off the Buy Nothing group. So this is crafting on a budget, my friends. So that's maybe a little bit better for what I want. You could use this. You could use the smaller ones. It'll take up less space. These are 1-inch squares, so you can see it basically takes up 1-inch square. So that's pretty good. If you got your little dudes, you can put your You can put your little dude right up next to it. Whereas if you do the big base, then they take up more space, and you're not gonna be able to get them right up to. I've been using these for Frostgrave as well, so that's good. So let's do a big one. And I'm going to get the old hot glue gun plugged in and heated in. Like I said, I think you can use other kinds of glue. I experimented around. If you don't have washers, well, I'll show you in a second. Okay, we got our glue gun heated up. And I added some extra lights, so that's fun. So, yeah, we just, let's put a little glob here. Get that in there. Easy peasy. Oh, my glue is all over the place. Can put a little here. If you want to do some of your roots, takes a little bit of practice, but you can start to figure it out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much to it. Just wait for it to dry. And if you haven't, like me, many of these I have not cut straight. So if I put this down, it's barely standing up. So if you cut it at a weird angle, don't worry about it. Just just use that glue to fill up the extra space so you can get it standing properly. So it's all dry now. If you want to, you can paint it, paint the roots. And what you might try, I haven't tried this myself, is like applying your base coat to your washer first. Obviously not on the inside. And then that might make it easier to paint. You're going to have trouble painting the glue though, but give it a shot. This happy little guy, I made the roots just with the glue gun. And the way I did that was you take like a flexible piece of like a yogurt lid or something, and then you, this is the one I used, I think, then you just glue, use your glue gun. I'm not gonna do it here, but make your little design, and then you just peel the plastic off. And then you've got this great, the roots are like built in. You might attach it to, I might stick this one to a washer to give it that support. I haven't decided yet, but there's a technique you can use. Now, you'll notice that none of these guys have foliage, and that is by design. I find that when you have foliage on the battle table, you can't really see the combatants. So I just use your imagination. But if you want to, I have taken Spanish moss, I think it's called, just off of trees. And when it dries, it gets this nice, it doesn't make a huge mess as compared to some other kinds of hobby foliage. So, if you judiciously apply it to your trees in some manner, figure that out. So here you have your forest, which you can populate with all manner of beasties and people. And yeah, you're good to go. Have a good time. Thanks for watching, and stay crafty. Hope I didn't steal that from anyone. Like and subscribe.